Montgomery House Library. It's the show about what's going on in your neighborhood. In today's show, we're going to talk with Jay Jarrett from the Watsontown Borough. He's the manager over there. I'm J.A., your host, and in the This Guy chair, it's Jesse.
Hey.
And we're going to start with a conversation about our neighborhoods. Jess, what's going on in your neighborhood?
I heard it's going to snow this weekend.
How much? I've heard 1 inch and 1 foot.
I hope it's more than a foot.
What are you going to do with a foot of snow?
I'm going to let my kid play in the snow. Snow day.
Snow day. Yeah, it'll be a snow day at the library too.
Yeah.
So I have a new snow blower. Have not been able to get it to work yet. Maybe this will be a good time to try it out.
Yeah.
In my neighborhood, we're still dealing with the ice from the last time. Today's supposed to be pretty warm. I see it dripping out there a little bit, but I do have concerns. Across the street from me, there's an empty block. The whole block is empty, and the ice is still there from last week. When I see the kids walk to school, they walk on that,
Ooh,
and dog walkers, it's a big deal over there. So I'm hoping this all works itself out.
Sounds like they're going to finish it.
Jess has some neighborhood announcements. Hit it, Jess.
Tuberville Council is seeking interested individuals to fill the recently vacated position of the mayor for Turbitville. Any interested candidates must include a letter of interest, be a registered elector of the borough who has resided in the borough continuously for at least 1 year. Also include any qualifications, and you can reach them at the Borough of Turbitville, 267 Broadway Street, Turbitville, PA. By the deadline of January 24th. Good luck. So, as you may know, we are going to get snow this weekend. So, the boroughs ask that you please remember to remove your vehicles from the borough streets until the snow is removed. It helps the hardworking plow trucks get their job done. Try to shovel your walkways in a decent time for the postman and people having to walk the sidewalks. As always, drive slow and cautiously if you have to go anywhere and not stay home. Be safe.
That new mayor from Turbitville, Jess, do you think he or she will come on the show?
That would be cool. We'll take you on the show.
I'd really like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Jess, moving on to famous birthdays this week.
On the 16th, Debbie Allen is 72. And the 17th, Betty White would have been 100.
That one is tough.
Yeah.
There are a lot of very cool tributes to her online, on television. I'm a fan of Pluto TV. It's free TV if you have a smart TV or your Roku. And Guilty Pleasure is the Buzzer channel, which is all old school game shows. And they're doing a 2-day tribute to Betty and all the game show episodes she's ever been on.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool. So for the 18th, Kevin Costner is going to be 67.
Yellowstone!
Yeah. On the 19th, Dolly Parton will be 76.
There are some big birthdays this month.
Yeah. Your favorite coming up on the 20th is Rainn Wilson. They'll be 56.
Rainn Wilson from the Schrute Beet Farm.
On the 21st, Gina Davis is going to be 66.
I believe Gina Davis is Jess's favorite.
Oh, yeah.
And I read about her that she was interested in archery when watching the Olympics a few years back, and she herself is a competitive archer at this point and almost made the Olympic team.
Yeah, she's pretty
among the other cool things she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the 22nd, Diane Lane will be 57. Superman's mom.
Superman's mom.
Yeah.
That's an important position in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Happy birthday, everybody.
If you have announcements about your activity, event, fundraiser, your team, and you'd like us to put them on the show, just give us a jingle at the library, 570-538-1381. Shoot us an email at
stackschat@
mghlib.org or send us a message on the Facebook using the hashtag
StacksChat.
And now, for the core portion of our program, the
Stacks Chat
portion, where we talk about books that are in the stacks, items that you could check out. Jess, you had a few big items today.
Yeah.
Why don't you share?
Well, you know it's going to snow this weekend, so nothing's better than the Harry Potter series. We have all the books for Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts.
I think we have the movies, and I think we have the audios, too.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're going to make those kids clean the house the whole time that they're home for a snow day, you can listen to it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Or you can read the books. They have great pictures in them, too.
These are the special illustrated, it was like a reissue of Harry Potter. So obviously they're more like a coffee table book,
Yeah.
but they have
They're real nice.
new illustrations.
Yeah. So you should check them out.
Oh, and Jess has this really cool mug here. Jess, tell us about your mug. It's a Harry Potter mug.
I love my Harry Potter merchandise. So I got this mug, and when you heat it up with tea or anything you want to put in it, it shows you walking across on the little Mordor's map. It's great.
It shows you, like, are you like a little alien-looking
No,
person?
it's your little feet. Your little feet walks across the map. It's great. It's really
I
cool.
am going to check this out. I'm going to borrow it for a cup
Yeah.
of tea and check it out.
And I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good, pretty much always.
Fact.
Right.
All right, for my Stacks Chat selections this week, I went to the YA shelf because I'm always talking about easy books, occasionally a J book. So I went to the YA shelf. We have some series in there that are pretty hip and upbeat. Like, we went through that phase where everybody was a vampire, everybody was a witch, and then people were zombies. So this is a whole different avenue, and it's called the Queens of Cyberspace series. I like them because the books are fresh, they're new, so it doesn't look like they've been there forever. This is a series about three girls, Suzanne, Britt, and Michaela, and they're kind of like those traveling pants girls. They're all different, but they have different skill sets. And what they do is their lives get a little bit confused whether they're in reality or playing the game, because the one girl is a genius and has invented this VR system where they can be in the game. The problem is that the game gets smarter than they are, and I guess for like 6 or 7 books you kind of have to follow it. I found I really got interested in the girls. I got invested in them. The game, I'm not a gamer very much, so that part was a little hard for me, but I think younger people would really get into it. So the Queens of Cyberspace, the first one is called Press Start,
Did they make it
obviously.
out? Did they make it out?
I can't tell you, Jess, you're going to have to read it.
No.
And then for my second item, I actually bought this book as a gift for someone for Christmas because I thought it was so cool. It's called Mo Obituaries by Mo Rocca. And it's a combination of history, trivia, and obituaries of all different kinds of things, like magical beasts. And this, I'll give you an example here. It's called The Death of a Founding Father, Thomas Paine, who we probably know, I know from Jeopardy and school and whatnot, that he wrote Common Sense. But Thomas Paine was one of the least beloved founding fathers, and it tells you, like, in this chapter, he talks about what you should do to be, like, a cooler founding father. It's like, for example, don't throw George Washington under the bus, which he apparently did. And then the thing I like about Mo Rocca as a writer is he kind of has that squirrel thing, like I do, and so he got obsessed with the long S, which was from back in the day. It explains what the long S was. I think they might have even used it in the Constitution. And then how they got rid of it, definitely Old English type era. And other things that Thomas Paine did that were not, like, didn't help him leave a good legacy. And then, of course, he, like, ties it all together with this chart about Thomas Paine versus T-Pain. For any of you know who
That's pretty cool.
who's T-Pain, Jess?
Yeah, he's a singer. Great, yeah.
Yeah, he won the Masked Singer one season also. And it's like a little quiz of who said what, Thomas Paine or T-Pain.
That's pretty cool.
So it's quite entertaining. It's for a number of age groups because, again, somebody can relate to Thomas Paine, someone can relate to T-Pain, and the way he writes it, you learn a lot of good information in ways that are conversational. So this really worked for me, well enough for me to buy it as a gift. All right, stay where you are. We're going to take a short station break, and we'll be back with Jay Jarrett from the Watsontown Borough. Hey all, we're back with our guest in the This Guy chair, Jay Jarrett from the Watsontown Borough. You're the manager of the borough?
I am the borough manager of Watsontown, yes ma'am.
What needs to be managed in the borough?
The Public Works Department needs to be managed. The Electric Department needs to be managed. The day-to-day paperwork below, grants.
Grants is a big deal.
Yeah.
That's part of the hard part. I know from being a manager here. To me, it's stressful.
Yeah. Well, it's just making sure. The easiest explanation is making sure the trains run on time and our residents are taken
Is being the borough manager a fancy way of saying you're the complaint department?
care of. In Watsontown Borough, we are blessed with some wonderful residents. We don't get a lot of complaints, but yes, when there is a complaint, I'm the one that feels the call.
Number one complaint that you get?
Number one complaint usually in the summer is about people not mowing their grass.
And it's not the people whose grass is mowed, it's their neighbors.
Their neighbors are complaining, yes.
Do you follow the rants and raves
We
page?
do not.
You do not.
No, we do not pay any attention to that whatsoever.
Jess, the number one thing, because you live in Watsontown and you follow the rants and raves, right? The number one thing I see on the rants and raves page is somebody's dog is missing.
Yep.
Somebody's dog is
the cat.
barking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what you're missing.
It's always the animals. They want to know where their animals are.
Yeah. That tends to be it. And then anytime there is a police report filed, there tends to be feedback, both positive and negative. But there have been some pretty entertaining.
Our official policy, I guess, at the borough, at least in the office, is if people have a complaint, we wish that they would call us instead of putting it on Facebook. So that's why we don't really pay attention to rants and raves. I've never been on it personally. I can't speak for the two ladies that work in the office, Brandy and Lisa, but I've never personally been on rants and raves. So.
Well, you're not missing a ton. Again, the back and forth feedback sometimes, it's mostly on the police department activity, I think tends to be the most entertaining. But mostly it's about wayward dogs. And I have never seen a lawn complaint on the Facebook.
And one thing you just made me think of something. I do want to make clear that the borough manager does not manage the police department.
I was going to ask that.
The police department is separate. There's a chief of police, and then of course the mayor oversees.
So it's like I live in Milton, and I'm told that the mayor oversees.
Right.
But the mayor's not riding shotgun, doing ride-alongs on a regular basis.
Not typically. But the mayor oversees the police department.
How many police officers do we have? Do you know?
We have in Watsontown Borough, we have 6.
6, counting
Counting
Mariska?
No. Mariska would be 7.
7. She is an official, though. If
She is an official officer, yes.
she's an officer.
She has all the rights and protections of a police officer.
Mariska is the canine for anyone who wouldn't happen to not know that for any reason. I think she's the most popular officer in Watsontown.
And she gets a lot of great press because she does a fantastic job for our department.
Does she have her own desk in the office?
She does not have her own desk. She does have her own vehicle, though. And a driver.
That's more than I have at the library. Maybe we should get an upgrade. Put that on the rants and raves page, would you? Already. So the manager, we have a manager in Watsontown and we have a mayor. What's the difference between the two jobs?
So in the borough form of government, the mayor's position, while the mayor is typically the leader of the community, the mayor's position is, in a lot of ways, the mayor's position is ceremonial. The mayor, as I said, the mayor is responsible for the police department, supervising the police department. The mayor has the ability to veto ordinances and things of that nature. But the mayor does not get a vote at council meetings unless there's a tie. The mayor does not have the ability to make a motion at council meetings or anything like that. But the mayor is the ceremonial leader is not the right word. The mayor in most communities is seen as the person,
The leader.
the leader of that community.
So I want to back up to something you just said. So how many people are on council?
We have 6 council members in Watsontown.
Okay, so if all 6 council members say everyone has to wear blue on Tuesday, they pass it, the mayor can say, nope, I veto.
And then council can override the mayor's veto.
Okay, so that's almost a ceremonial veto.
Yeah.
But if the mayor has enough people complain,
Mhm.
he can say, hey, I've had a lot of complaints with this idea, so I am going to be on the record as vetoing
When
this.
council approves an ordinance, and an ordinance is a law, basically, in a borough.
Mhm.
When council approves an ordinance, the mayor has 10 days to either sign it or veto it, or not sign it. If he doesn't sign it within 10 days or veto it, then it becomes law. That makes sense.
Yes.
But council, if he would veto a council at their next meeting, could choose to override that veto.
In my experience, I'm not from the area, but obviously I work here. I've relocated to the general area. That Watsontown has a ton of ordinances. I imagine a lot of places do. So how, like, if I were a new person moving to Watsontown, and I was going to go out and burn my papers because that's what I've always done, right? And I know, for just as an example, that is not
allowed.
That is not allowed. What kind of a welcome packet or information packet would I get if I moved to Watsontown to help me through those loops?
Yeah, when folks move to Watsontown, if we're aware of it, if they come in to get their electricity started or put it in their name, we do have a welcome packet, and it includes information about the borough. Yeah, no, it's like that, but it does reference the borough's website, and probably 4 years ago now, the borough took action to get our ordinances on our website.
And that is true, and it really has been helpful, for me to refer people, because people come to get a library card when they move into the area. And if I'm not mistaken, everything online, it's searchable.
And it's word searchable.
Yes.
That's the beauty of it.
So I could look
you
up.
You can type in burning,
and
it'll bring up every ordinance that has a
or dog.
Or dog. Yep.
Type of thing. And that's super helpful, and I have not found that to be the case everywhere.
Well,
when I've moved several times in my life.
It was not an inexpensive process. We had to have a company do it for us. But council decided at the time that it was worth the investment. Not just to get the ordinances online, but to get them what's called codified, to get them cleaned up. We had ordinances that may or may not have contradicted each other in some cases. So we hired a company that literally went through our ordinances with a fine-tooth comb and sent their concerns to us, gave us a chance to kind of review the ordinance that they were questioning, and give us a chance to comment on whether or not we wanted it changed and how we wanted it changed.
I've noticed myself being on the website and using that tool, it really makes the borough seem very organized. For example, if you were, we just had with COVID, people moving all over the place in the country, moving from here to there, or there to here, and it makes the area seem very attractive when you go to your website and you see that it seems to be in order.
We take great pride in our website. Again, after we did the ordinances, probably 2 years ago, we hired a company to update our website to bring it more into 2020 versus 1990 or whatever. And we try to make it, number one, easy to use. But number two, if you Google us, when we pop up, we have some cool pictures on there that kind of make you want to go to the website.
The bridge!
The bridge is right.
Yeah, I think that
That is our cover photo now. I don't know if that's the right word on the website. I'm using Facebook terminology there. And we also have a Facebook page, which we update continuously. We don't post every day.
such as don't park on the street during the snowstorm.
If at all possible.
If at all
We
possible.
understand some folks don't have an option, and that's fine. But if you have a driveway, if you have a backyard you can access, we do ask that you do that. It just makes the plowing easier, and it keeps you from having to shovel out parking areas. Because if there's no cars, our boys will plow right to the curb stop.
Correct. The snowstorm. What are you hearing? I heard
So-
1 to 3, and sometimes it's 1 to 3 inches, 1 to 3 feet. What are you hearing? What is
So-
your rheumatism telling you?
The official weather of the borough of Watsontown, at least in my office, is AccuWeather.
Okay.
I kind of rely on that. Right now, they're saying 5 to 8 inches. I saw this morning. They're talking about maybe some ice mixing in on Monday. It could change. The track could change. We watch it. I'll watch it all day tomorrow to see what's going on. But we always make sure, especially being today's Friday, before our DPW guys leave today, the salt will be loaded on the trucks, the plows will be all on, the trucks will be gassed up. So if they get that call at 11 o'clock Sunday night and they come in to plow, they're ready to go.
question, just not based on fact, but based on my experience, my perception, not in Watsontown, but that if there is a storm on a weekend, because we'll say DPW doesn't work weekends,
Right.
then the borough holds off on sending them out until 7:01 on Monday or what have you.
Watsontown.
How does that work?
So in Watsontown, the procedure is on the weekends or in the evenings or overnight.
And you have this plan ahead of time,
Ahead of time.
Right.
The-
every time. Like you have a
Whichever-
general plan.
Whichever police officer is on duty when it's snowing, it's that police officer's responsibility to assess the roads. So if it's overnight, we may get a call at 2 in the morning from the police officer. Hey, it's getting a little slick.
Who's
got-
we? Because you're not. You don't
So-
sleep at the borough, right? I don't
No.
sleep at the library. You don't sleep at the borough, right?
No, but our DPW foreman
Yes.
will get a call from our police officer on duty saying, you need to get the plow going or get the salt trucks out.
Even if it's 2:00 on a Saturday
Doesn't
night,
matter.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter because it's our responsibility as a borough to make sure if our residents are going to work at 5 in the morning, to make sure they can get to work as safely as possible.
Or just safe in general.
Safe in general.
Another snow myth or perception.
Well, and some boroughs may be like you're talking about, but our policy is to get out there as soon as we need to.
Perception. They only care about Main Street. They don't care about me.
So
Is there a system?
there is a system, but keep in mind we're running 5 plow trucks. So Main Street is technically PennDOT's responsibility. It's State Route 405. Now that doesn't mean we don't plow. We do, but PennDOT also plows it, and the same for 8th Street in the borough. That is also a PennDOT responsibility, but we'll plow that as well as does PennDOT. We focus on the busier streets first. That's a fact. We also focus on the hills. 4th Street Hill is a great example.
I took that by accident on my scooter recently, and it was.
Yeah.
Thanks
So
for taking care of the
there
Fourth Street.
are priorities, but every street will be plowed at least once before we go back. The other thing is the alleys. We didn't always plow alleys in Watsontown, and I say we, that was before my time. My argument from the first snowstorm was, listen, if we're asking people to get off the street into their drives or into their garages, a lot of times that's in the alley. So how do they get out of the alley? We got to plow the alleys, but the alleys are not a priority. But they are.
Just you have a street and an alley, right?
Right.
That works out
Nah, sometimes.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends.
The
I
alleys
live
are-
on Pennsylvania, and then I have an alley that shoots right up to where my driveway is, and I'm the only driveway in that alley. Yeah. But they do my alley,
They
so
do.
I'm cool.
They just don't do it until they do Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Fact or not that the borough dumps snow into the river when they plow.
We do not dump snow into the river. Where we dump it is if it's a big snow, there's a lot down, if you know where the borough's walking track is.
Yep, I do. I've used it.
There's a lot beyond the walking track is borough property, and that's where we dump the big snow.
Yeah, I had heard the
Oh,
river,
yeah,
and
we
I'm
do
like,
not
I
touch
don't
it.
know
We do
about
not
that.
do
I said
that.
I can find out.
Yeah, we do not do that. I would imagine the Department of Environmental Protection has something to say about that as well.
Probably.
But no, we dump in that big lot, and we don't do it every storm. Like I said, we typically will move snow off Main Street for parking. Side streets, again, if it's a big snow, we will. But it's labor intensive. We have small dump trucks, so it takes a while, and we have a limited crew. We are also blessed. We have a couple of people who have helped us. They're part-time summer employees, but when it does snow, they come in and help us at least clean the sidewalks, clean the parking lots, things like that. And they will help us with the moving.